tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gift, your intuition. And I'm here again live for another round of Card of the Day. So as usual, every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do my Tarot by Hillary live show in which we talk about a different tarot or divination topic. But lately, I've been getting into the habit of doing my card of the day via video, and also a lot later than I usually do. I'll usually do a written interpretation of my card of the day, which I post to all of my social media accounts, usually in the morning. But with the pandemic going on, I have just not had the time to take the time in the morning and use my practice as a meditative and way of entering the day. So, it is what it is. At least I'm putting up my card of the day in whatever format that takes, at whatever time that takes, because you know what? Today is not over yet. So I'm taking advantage of that. So today's card of the day, I've already shuffled and I've already pulled the card of the day, unlike yesterday where I did it completely live and you saw the shuffle and you saw the pull. I've still shuffled and pulled, but I did that before I went live. So now I have our card of the day for today. You ready for it? Are you ready for it? Let me know. And I see that someone's watching live. Let me see if I can actually see who this person is. And if you're watching live right now, great. Go ahead and give me a shout out, wave, say hello. And if you're watching the replay, that's fine, because this message is going to come to you in whatever time in whatever time or whatever space that you are most ready to hear it and absorb it. And sometimes you may be hearing this message more than once from different sources. And if that's so, please pay attention to this message. If you feel like it is familiar and you've heard it before, or you've heard it from a different source, that may be a sign that you need to pay a little bit more attention. So today's card of the day is pulled from the Lion Strider Tarot by Ciola Thompson. And it is the Magician. So our little monkey minds have been going, but you know what? With this Magician card, we figured something out here. That monkey figured something out, and they made something new with it. So when the Magician card comes up in a reading, and I am going to go to the companion book, The Lion Strider's Journey, that is also written by the artist of the Lion Strider Tarot. But let me give you my thoughts off the cuff first before we go to the companion book. And I really do recommend, if a particular deck that you're working with doesn't feel familiar to you, but it's done, if the companion book is written by the same person that did the art, I find that companion book is fascinating to read, to understand the reasons why this artist decided to depict the Magician card as a monkey, and what was the purpose or the intention of the flowers that appears on the Magician card here. You'll find all that out in a companion book. So definitely that's a tarot tip for you guys. If you're using a particular deck that's unfamiliar to you and you happen to have that companion book that's written by the same person that did the art, look to that guidebook. It's really going to help you understand the artistic interpretations of maybe a more, unusual tarot deck than what the traditional tarot symbols usually have on the different cards. So the Magician card, to me, is a card of starting before you're ready. It's a card of sometimes you do have to wait for all of the different tools or the right tools to become available to you to be able to get the job done. But ultimately, the Magician card signifies that you are your own greatest tool. You are your own greatest asset. And all you really need to make something happen is yourself. And sometimes waiting for those tools to become available is almost an excuse. So keep that in mind when you see the Magician card, especially for today's energy. Like today, you are making things happen, and there's a certain amount of synchronicity. Like, for example, one of my best friends in the world, who I haven't really gotten to speak with over the last few months, showed up on my doorstep and phoned me and said, "I'm outside and I have a present for you, and I'm in the area." And we socially distanced and we got to talk. And it was so interesting that that happened because I had mentioned only a few brief hours before that, about that disconnect. And then suddenly it happened. And that was part of a little bit of my own boundaries and saying, like, I'll just wait and see what happens. And then that's what happened. So it was very interesting to see that happen on a Magician Day. So I think it's very fitting. But you may have similar experiences today with that magician energy. Like you were making stuff happen, and pay attention to signs, omens, and synchronicities today, okay? I know that it's after 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I'm saying this, but go ahead, look back on your day today and think about how this card played out in your day. I promise you're probably going to find some kind of connection. So that is my interpretation of the Magician card. Let's go to the tape, and I'm going to read you some selections from the interpretation from the Guidebook by Ciolo Thompson. So keywords for the Magician are concentration, focus, goal attainment, learning, study, communication, and transformation. The Magician is a powerful card associated with consciousness, action, and creation. He may appear when you have a specific idea or goal toward which you are working. The Magician is related to the Mercurius of alchemy and to the number 1. He is a card of beginnings. For me, and this is the artist, he manifested as a simian character, clever and capable of making things, able to craft tools and figure out new ways of doing things. He stands between the spirit world and humanity. In one hand, he holds a staff raised toward the sky. His other hand, in benediction, gestures toward the land. Above his head is the symbol of eternity. So it has that feel still of that human character of the Magician in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, where the wand is pointing up, or his hand is pointing up, and then his other hand is pointing below. So it's as above, so below. It's a very common position or body language that you see a lot in the Magician cards across the tarot. This card often appears when you need to channel the power of the universe towards your goals. The Magician is a good omen when you have a specific wish, when you begin a project involving creativity, or when you need to make a transformation of any kind. This is a great card for meditation when you need to call all the elements for help and wisdom. In a reading, the Magician can indicate an approaching period in your life where things seem to fall into place, a time when your efforts will yield results and you will feel empowered and able to accomplish your goals. That is the Magician's potential. When paired with the Fool, especially with the Fool in the present position and the Magician in the future position, you can expect to experience one of those golden windows, sorry, I gotta put that down in order to flip the page, where everything seems to go your way. Paired with the Strong Pentacles card, you may suddenly find that you've increased aptitude in financial matters. In a romantic reading, be aware of your personal power and be wary of people that bring out your manipulative or domineering side. Just because you can make others heed your will does not mean you should. Remember that the Magician can correspond to a very charismatic person as well. And also, the Magician can be a trickster energy too, so keep that in mind. The Magician is associated with the planet Mercury and carries with it skill, logic, and intellect. So correspondences, for astrology, the correspondent is Aries. In this particular book, in this particular deck, if that doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to use that correspondence. The number is 1, and associated plants are astragalus, vanilla, and rosemary. So there you go. That is the Magician card from the Line Striders Tarot, our card of the day for today, Thursday, July 16th, 2020. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if that resonates with you guys. And please feel free to share this with your friends if they are so interested and if their day reflected the Magician's energy. All right, I will be back with you guys tomorrow, maybe for another card of the day reading live, but definitely for tomorrow night's regular episode of Tarot by Hillary Live. Let me know what topic you want me to cover. I'm thinking we're going to talk about boundary setting. So if that sounds interesting to you, you want to tune back in right here, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday night. Okay? Okay, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome night. Do something nice for yourself. And